Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am going to be talking about an amazing movie that just came out on Christmas Eve that I think everyone should watch. It's on Netflix. You can go to your movie theater and you can watch it. It's called Don't Look Up. Now, the premise of the whole summary of the whole movie is that there's these two astronomers who are going on this whole media tour to warn mankind of a comet that is approaching Earth to destroy it.
You don't like the looks of?
We discovered a very large comet.
Oh, good for you.
It's headed directly towards Earth.
This comet is what we call a planet killer.
It is what do you call, like, the end of world or apocalyptic movie. It is one of those, but it's a lot different. Let's start there. It's a lot different than normal end of world apocalyptic movies. So why should Christians really watch this? Let's start here. Yes, it is rated R, and yes, there is so much to it. There's so much diversity to it that I think it's worth watching, right? The main characters are Jennifer Lawrence play Kate, which is one of the astronomers. The second astronomer is played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and his character is named Dr. Mindy, and these are one of the two biggest stars ever, right? And they brought a lot of dynamics to the movie. So we're gonna start by, I'm not gonna give any spoilers away. You should go and watch it yourself. It's worth the watch, and I just think that Christians can learn a lot from it, right? So the first reason why I would bring up why we should watch this movie is because it will show us likely how people will respond in the future to any form of truth given out there, right? I know as Christians, our main goal in life is actually to just spread the word and it's like give the good news of like God is coming back. And yes, we know the world is going to end, we just don't know when. Unlike this movie, they do tell you when the world is going to end. It's a very short period of time. But even though it's a short period of time, people really didn't take them seriously, right? And similarly, I'm pretty sure we're always faced with moments where we're not taken seriously. They're just like, does God really exist? How are you certain that, you know, the Bible it was written by man and not by God? Like, you know, there's so many questions that come up. And I think watching how people really respond and react to just a comet coming to Earth that's going to destroy them was a wonderful wonder. It was really well done how this day and age would really react to news like that. The second reason I would put out there why we need to watch this film is because it shows us how to be consistent despite backlash. Now, there is so much backlash about the two astronomers, both Kate and Dr. Mindy, trying to get their word out there, from the government to the president. Everybody was just going after them, and nobody was really taking them seriously. And when they did take them seriously, there were so many other things that came into play. They're like, how can we monetize this? You know? But thinking about this, there was one character, Kate, who was very, very persistent. And the reason why I would learn from Kate's example is that there's going to be a lot of backlash in the future when you're talking about God, when you're sharing the good news, when you're out there being really passionate about what you believe in. And for anything you believe in, you know that there's going to be people who won't believe you and those who will support you. And that's one thing that I want Christians to just look and just learn off of how Kate handled that and how we can handle that in the future as well. All right, so the third reason why I believe Christians should really watch this movie is because it gives us the courage and hope to share with others. Now, there's a lot of persons, even in COVID right now, we feel very, very hopeless. And in the movie, there was like so many hopeless moments and so many moments where people were wondering what should they do, where should they get their hope from. And there was like, I guess, propaganda and people making up things just to give mankind hope, right? But we have a hope in God that one day he's gonna come back, and we know that we want as many people to go to heaven as possible. We just know how much God has changed our life and what he has done for us. And I think it would be so beautiful, like when you watch this film, you will realize that how desperate mankind is and how desperate mankind is for hope, right? They will look for hope in almost anything. Even in this COVID time, a lot of people are wondering, when is it going to end? They need hope, and that's kind of what, just bringing the good news is all about, just bringing hope to persons. The fourth reason why Christians should really watch this movie. Now, I'm just going to put a disclaimer here. This movie is not a Christian movie whatsoever, right? However, there's so many Christian lessons that you can learn from this movie, right? And it is very surprising, but the fourth point is that there is some form of peace at the end of this movie. And it sounds crazy because there is peace, and it's found through somebody actually praying. And I'm not going to spoil how it ends, but that was where it became the most peaceful in this whole movie, was somebody actually praying. In the chaos of a pandemic, in the chaos of so many things that are going on, we all need some form of peace, right? And I'm pretty sure a lot of persons out there want peace. I know during Christmas time, a lot of us were like celebrating the birth of Jesus. We're celebrating the fact that he came, and he was known as a peacemaker. He was known as the Prince of Peace. And why wouldn't you want to share how you found peace? There's so many times we're saying there's no peace in the world, and it's actually true, there isn't. The only peace that you'll ever find in God or in this lifetime is through God, right? And the fifth and final point is that the reasons why Christians should read this or watch this movie is because that it gives us hope and trust that God is coming again. It gives us trust that the world is going to end and that God is coming again. And we need to be able to share that news, just like these two astronomers. We need to be able to share that news with so many people, even if we have to go on media public spaces, if we have to blast it on social media, if we have to get creative with it. They got really creative with it. And I believe that if we take the moment to actually do all the work that they even did just to try and get the news about the truth about this comet coming out, that even us, how much more effort can we put even in our daily lives, just sharing it with like a coworker, just sharing it with a friend, sharing it with a teacher. There's so many people that you can share it with your kids, just to know that God is coming to earth again and the world is going to end. However, we have a hope that we will live again. And that is a beautiful point to leave on. So I would recommend so wholeheartedly that you watch this movie. Don't Look Up. There is a whole thing about it. It says don't look up, and there are some people who are going against it that said look up. And it was just so beautiful, and I think you should just watch it because we need to actually look up and know that God is coming back again. Well, so thank you so much for taking the time out to watch this video. Like, share, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!